My name is Chris Dickerson. I'm from Limestone, Tennessee. My PDGA number is 62467, and this will be my first year on Prodigy, and this is what's in my bag. I'll start off with a X1. I carry a 750 X1 for really overstable shots, preferably into a really good headwind. I can throw it out there flat, maybe with a little bit of turn, and it will always finish left. Next, I have 3 D1s. The first one is 400G. It is my most overstable D1. I can throw it flat or with some turn, and it's always very dependable. It always finishes left. Next is another 400G D1. I got this from Zach Melton because it was just a little too overstable for his liking, so he gave it to me. It's pretty beat in now, and I can throw it with a little bit of hyzer and get it to flip up flat, and it will always fade left at the end. My last D1 is a 400 D1, where it is the least stable of the 3, and I can throw it out there flat, and if I really get on it, it'll like to turn, stay over for a while, but it'll always come back left at the end. Next, I have 2 400G D2s. This white one is less stable, but I like to throw it for controlled drives where I can get some good distance. I can throw it with hyzer. It'll go out there straight. It might turn a little, but it likes to finish on the left side. This 400G D2 is more overstable. I like to throw it for my maximum distance shots. I can throw it if there's not any wind with a little bit of turn, get it high up in the air and let it go for a long time. I carry 2 D3s. My first is a 400G D3. It is a very long flyer, kind of a S shot kind of disc. I can throw it with hyzer. It'll flip up to flat, it'll go over, and it may come back at the end depending on how hard I throw it. I carry a 400 series D3. I have one purpose for this disc really. It's a stable roller disc. I can put it down with a good angle, and it likes to stand up a lot longer than a D4 or something less stable than that. I carry 1 D4, 400 series. All I use it for is a roller as well. I can throw it out there flat, maybe with a little turn, and it hits down. It goes a good ways before it finishes right, but I can always count on it to finish to the right side. Now for the H series. I carry a 400G H1. It is really overstable. I like to use it for sidearm shots where I can put a lot of angle on it, and I can always count on it to come back to the right. Next, I carry a 750 H1, where this will be my go-to backhand or sidearm disc in the H series. I can put quite a bit of turn on this and depend on it always to finish right, as well as if I were to throw it backhand the same way. Very dependable disc, and probably my favorite H series. I also carry a 750 H2, where I would throw it in about the same kind of lines as the H1, but if I were to put it on the same angle, the H2 would go just a little farther before it hooks up. Next would be a 400G H3. I've really I really like this disc since it came out, and it's very overstable. And if I throw it out there with a little bit of turn, I can always depend on it to come back left, but it'll go a very good distance before it does. Next will be the F series. I carry a 400 F1. This is a very straight disc for me. I can throw it with a little bit of hyzer and it'll flip to flat and go very straight and have a little finish left. Or I like to throw it mostly flat and get a good turn out of it and maybe a little bit of fade at the end. Next, I carry a 400 series F5. It is pretty much brand new, and I can throw it pretty hard flat and depend on it to go straight, maybe with a little bit of turn, and just maybe some finish at the end, but not much. Next is a 400G F5. I really like this disc since it came out. Brand new, I could throw it with quite a bit of hyzer. It would flip to flat and go over a little bit, maybe some finish at the end if you give it enough time. But it's a really dependable disc, very predictable. I carry a 400 F7 in my bag. I don't throw it very much for air shots. I like to use it for rollers. If I want less distance for a roller, instead of a D4, I will throw this and put it down with about the same angle, and it'll do about the same flight path as a D4 would for a roller, but just shorter. Next is the M series. I carry a 400 M1. It is very overstable. I can throw it out there flat or with a little bit of turn, and it'll always finish left. I carry a 750 M2, and this may be my favorite mid-range. I can throw it hard and flat, and it'll go very straight with some finish on the end. But mostly I like to throw it with hyzer and let it hold it most of the way and finish left. I carry 3 M3s. The first one is a 400 M3. It's a fairly old disc. It's been in my bag a long time. I can throw it out there pretty hard with a good amount of hyzer, and it'll go very straight with some finish on the end. This one is very similar to the last one, just a bit less stable. I could hit it with about the same hyzer, and it'll go out, and instead of finishing left, it'll turn just a little or sit down. And the last M3 is a 750 M3. It is considerably less stable than the other two. I could throw it with the same amount of hyzer. It'll go out and it'll stay over to the right, and it hardly ever comes back. Last is the M4. I don't throw it backhand very much, but it is a very good sidearm disc if you want something that goes straight. I can throw it with quite a bit of hyzer, and it'll flip to flat and finish right. But it's a very workable disc, and probably my second favorite mid-range behind the M2. Now for my throwing putters. I'll start out with the PA1s. I carry a 300 series PA1, and it is a little over a year old, and it's pretty understable. I can throw it out there with a little bit of hyzer, and it'll flip up to flat and glide over just a little before it comes back. I have another 300 series PA1. It is fairly new, team stamp. I can throw it out there flat and it will go pretty straight, and it's always going to finish left until it starts to beat in and hopefully replace the blue one. And my last PA1 is a 750 PA1. It is very overstable. I can throw it flat and it'll go about 250 feet before it starts to hook left. Lately I've been throwing it with a little bit of turn on some holes, and it'll hold straight for a little bit longer than 250 feet before it finishes left. Next, I throw 3 PA3s. 2 of them are 300 plastic. This one is fairly straight. I could throw it with a little bit of hyzer and it'll fly straight, finish flat. I don't throw it sidearm very much. That's what this one is for. It's also a 300 series PA3. I never throw it backhand. It's pretty beat in, and that's one of the reasons I don't throw it backhand. It's just a sidearm disc that I don't care to beat in over time. I can throw it with quite a bit of hyzer and it'll flip to flat, maybe finish right at the end. My last PA3 is a Glow 400 PA3. It's beat into similar to the green PA3 that I throw, but I would throw this in situations where there are quite a few trees, where if I were to, if there's a possibility to break in a disc, I would throw this instead of the green one. It has the same fly path, but at the end it'll want to finish just a little more left than the green one. I carry one PA4. It's a 400 series. This is the oldest disc in my bag. I got this whenever I started throwing Prodigy, and it's very reliable, very dependable. You can throw it with a lot of hyzer and it'll flip to flat and go dead straight, or you can throw it with just a little bit less and it'll flip to flat and hold over to the right. It's probably my favorite putter. And last but not least, my putting putters. I carry 2 300 series PA3s. This one I've had for over a year. It's beat in, putts very straight. I like a putter that I can putt flat and straight, and it will stay straight. Very minimum fade at the end. And the second one is just a practice putter. I like to use it during practice rounds, and so I can get up more putts than I usually would without one. Well, that's what's in my bag. Thank you.